Hello everyone, I am Hera Khan and I have prepared this particular topic that will go through the summary and the module review questions of Module 1 of Azure Fundamentals. This course topic has been exclusively created for ittoolstraining.com. So let's move forward and go through the summary of Module 1 and then we'll go through some of the module review questions. So in this module, we learned about cloud computing, what it is, and what its key characteristics are. We learned about the different types of cloud models that are available and the considerations of using those different models. We also learned about the different cloud services which are available, the benefits of using different types, and the management responsibilities under each service type. Under the chapter Why Cloud Services, we learned about what cloud computing is and why you should consider using cloud services. We have learned some key terms and concepts such as high availability, agility, elasticity, fault tolerance, global reach, CapEx versus OpEx in the context of cloud computing, economies of scale, and the consumption-based cost model. In the chapter Types of Cloud Models, we learned about public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud models and what the key characteristics of each models are. We have also learned how they compare, what considerations we need to take into account when using them and when we might use them. In the chapter Types of Cloud Services, we learned about the different types of cloud services which are available: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. We learned what are the key characteristics of each cloud service, how they compare, and what considerations we need to take into account when we are using them, and when we might use them. So this was a short summary of what we discussed in Module 1. Now let us go ahead and discuss some review questions. They are total in number 9. Let's start with the first review question. So what terms from the list below would be viewed as benefits of using cloud services? We have to choose 3 from these options. The options are elasticity, unpredictable cost, local reach only, agility, economies of scale. The 3 options basically for this answer are elasticity, agility, and economies of scale. The wrong answers are unpredictable cost and local reach only. These 3 options would be seen as benefits that you can gain from using cloud services. Unpredictable cost and local reach only would not be benefits of using cloud services because cloud services does not provide predictable. Basically, the cloud service does provide you with various tools that can help you to predict cost, and it provides you with the capability of reaching globally. Let's move on to the next question. So when looking at using a cloud service, what expenditure type are cloud services based on? The options are capital expenditure, friendly expenditure, maximum expenditure, and operational expenditure. So the correct answer to this question is OpEx, that is operational expenditure. Cloud services operate on an operational expenditure model. It is regular, repeated expenditure that you pay for using cloud services. CapEx is not the correct answer. CapEx is not required to be paid upfront when looking to start using a cloud services. There are no upfront costs to use cloud services. You pay for what you consume under a consumption-based model. Friendly expenditure and maximum expense are not even defined expenditure types. Now let's move on to the review question 3. It says, which of the following terms relate to making a service available with no downtime for an extended period of time? The options of this question is performance, high availability, fault tolerance, and agility. And answer is high availability. The other answers, while they may be related, are not correct. Performance is the ability to provide quick and efficient response times to requests. Fault tolerance is the ability to survive a failure of a component. And agility is the ability to react quickly. So the correct answer is high availability. Let's move on to review question 4. So this question says, which cloud models provide services that can be accessed by the public? We have to choose two amongst the four options. So your options are public, private, hybrid, and global. So the correct answer is public and hybrid. So public and hybrid cloud models use services that can be accessed by the public. Hybrid cloud has a public and private element, hence the public part is accessible by the public. Private cloud models is run and owned by an organization for use exclusively for that organization, and access is not provided to the public. It may be made available to other third parties depending on the business requirements. Global is not a valid cloud model. With this, we move on to next question, that is review question 5. It says, which cloud model provides the greatest degree of ownership and control? So the correct answer to this question is private cloud, that is option number 2. Both public and hybrid clouds have an infrastructure that is managed by another party. As such, there is less control over the infrastructure. Therefore, the correct answer is private cloud. Review question 6. So, which cloud model provides the greatest degree of flexibility? Options are public, private, and hybrid. The correct answer is hybrid. Hybrid cloud model provides the greatest degree of flexibility, as you have the option to choose either public or private depending on your requirements. Public cloud means you will not have full ownership over all aspects of the service. Private cloud means there is upfront cost associated with creating, managing, and maintaining your private cloud. Moving on to question number 7. Now the question says, you are running a virtual machine in a public cloud using IaaS. Which model correctly reflects how that resource is managed? Your options are user management model, cloud user management model, no responsibility management model, and shared responsibility model. So the correct answer to this question is the shared responsibility model, option number 4. Under the shared responsibility model, management of the resource is shared between the cloud provider and the end user. The cloud provider being responsible for the cloud services infrastructure and the end user being responsible for the service being configured and managed correctly. The user model, cloud user management model, and no responsibility management model are not valid defined management models. So the correct answer to this question is shared responsibility model. With this, we move on to review question 8. It says, which term best describes platform as a service, that is PaaS. Option 1 is users can create and deploy an application as quickly as possible without having to worry about managing the underlying infrastructure. The second option is users are responsible for purchasing, installing, configuring, managing their own software, which includes operating systems, middleware, and application. The third option says users pay an annual or monthly subscription. Correct answer is option number 1. The users can create and deploy an application as quickly as possible without having to worry about managing the underlying infrastructure. Users are responsible for purchasing, installing, configuring, and managing their own software, operating systems, middleware, and applications to IaaS. Is wrong. And similarly, the third option is wrong. Moving on to the last question, that is review question 9. The question says you have two types of application which you need to run. One is your legacy application that require a specialized mainframe hardware, and newer applications that can run on commodity hardware. Which cloud deployment model would be best for you? Your options are public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and on-premises. Hybrid cloud is the correct answer to the question. A hybrid cloud is a public and private cloud combined. You can run a new application on commodity hardware you rent from the public cloud and maintain your specialized mainframe on premise. With this, we end with 9 review questions of Module 1, and with the end of review questions, we complete our Module 1. The next module will talk about Core Azure Services.